Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are diving into modding Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Specifically, I am going to show you how to replace the character Loon default model with a fully costume model. It's a complete mesh swap modding guide, so I turned this to this. If you're totally new to modding, think it's complicated, don't worry. I've walked you through every step. We'll be using Fmodel to extract the game assets, Blender to edit and customize the model, and Unreal Engine 5 to package everything back into the game. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to bring your own costume characters into the game. So, let's get started. Let's start by downloading Fmodel. Head over to this website, link is in the video description, and download it like this. Once it's downloaded, open the file with WinRAR and extract it to a new folder. It's a single file, drag and drop. Now, go into that folder and double-click on the file to open Fmodel. If this is your first time using the tool, you'll see a setup screen, this one. We have to set this up. First, go to the directory section and click the drop-down. Now here, navigate to your game installation directory and locate the folder named Sandfall. Everything is inside this one. Select it and confirm. Next, come to the Unreal Engine version section. Click the drop-down and choose Unreal Engine version 5.4. Make sure it's this one. Once that's set, click OK. You'll now get a message prompting you to update Fmodel. Click Download Latest Release and confirm. Wait for the download to finish. Fmodel will restart automatically after the update is finished, and it begins loading the game files on the left side. And if you've used Fmodel before, you'll likely skip the initial setup and go straight to the update message. Just update as shown, then open the directory menu from top here and click Selector. Then you'll see this setup menu, so adjust your setup as needed. And once that's done, we are ready for the next step. In order to see and extract game assets, we need a mapping file. Go to the provided Google Drive link, it's in the video description, and download the mapping file like this. Once it's downloaded, open the archive and extract the file somewhere easy to access, like your desktop or dedicated modding folder. Now head back to Fmodel. At the top, click on Settings, and in the General tab, come to the Advanced section. Enable this option, Local Mapping File. Check the option. Then click this. Here, locate the mapping file you just extracted. Then select it and hit Open. Finally, click OK to apply the settings. Now we are good to go. On the left side of Fmodel, change the Load option to All. Then click Load. Fmodel will now load all available game files, and you'll be taken to the folder section. And once it finishes loading here, you'll see a folder called Sandfall. Go into that folder. Then open the content folder inside it. This is where all the game assets are stored. Meshes, textures, animations, sounds, UI, and more. Each folder has a name that represents its contents, so trust the names. What I am looking for is Loon's character model, so I go into the characters folder. Inside, you'll see subfolders like Enemies, which contains enemy character asset. Heroes contains the main characters, including the one we play as, and NPCs contains non-player characters. We need the Heroes folder. Open it, and you'll see more subfolders, each one named after a specific character. Find the one you need. For me, it's Loon. Now, when I expand our folder, inside you'll see additional subfolders for animations, alternate outfits, and textures. The base model file like the skeleton mesh file, are inside the main character folder. For me, it's Loon, not the subfolders, the main character. To access them, just make sure the folder is selected and highlighted. Now, go to the top bar and switch from folders to packages. This will display all the actual asset files contained in the folder we selected. Inside the Loans folder, look for the files that starts with SK. That stands for skeleton. Next, find the one that includes placeholder in the name. That's the main character mesh used in the game for character models. And skip any files that says physique. Once you find the correct file, for me it's this, double-click to open it. You'll now see the 3D viewer, where you can inspect the 3D model. Use this key to navigate in the 3D viewer. Now, on the left side, you'll see which skeleton the model is connected to, and below that are the materials. You can select them, and on the right side, view the textures connected to each one. You can also right-click on any material you want, and use this option, Show, to hide them, to have a better look at the mesh. Okay, once you've confirmed you've got the right model, it's time to export it. After you've opened and inspected the model in 3D viewer, go ahead and close it. Now, right-click on the file and choose Save Model. Fmodel will begin exporting all the related assets, the mesh, skeleton, materials, and textures. Just wait a moment while it completes the process. Once it's done, you'll see a message saying successfully saved. Click the link in that message to go directly to the exported mesh location. But let's go there manually to understand it. By default, the exported files are inside Fmodel installation directory. When we set up the Fmodel, it automatically created an output folder. So go inside that, then go inside Exports folder, and you'll see two main subfolders. Game. This contains the exported mesh file. Sandfall. This contains the materials and textures for that mesh file. The folder structure inside these mirrors what you saw in Fmodel. So, if you follow the same path you used to find the model in Fmodel, you'll land on the right files. So, now I have my mesh file path here, and my textures and materials path here. Yours will be similar, though you might see a few extra folders in the texture path. That's normal, since some models shares textures and materials, that's why. Just try to locate the base textures for your model. If you're gonna change them, you're gonna need them, so it's best you find them. After you export and find them, let's edit them. Now we need a 3D model editor. I am using Blender, which is free and open source. Start by downloading the latest version from the official website. Once it's downloaded, install it. The process is simple, just follow the installer instructions. Next, we need a plugin to open the file format we exported from Fmodel. It's called Unreal PSK PSA Importer. Go to this website, link is in the video description. Click Get Add-on, then select Download. This version supports Blender 4.2 and above. Once Blender is installed, and you have the plugin, open Blender. On the startup screen, select General to begin a new project. Now, let's install the add-on. Go to Edit. At the top, choose Preferences, and in the Preferences window, go to Add-ons tab. Click the arrow icon next to the search bar, and choose Install from Disk. Okay, here, find and select the plugin file we downloaded. After that, install. Then use the search bar to find the plugin by name, and make sure the checkbox is selected, is enabled, is checked. Once you're verified, you can close the Preferences window. Now delete all objects in the scene by selecting them, then pressing Delete. Next, switch to the modeling workspace from top, and make sure you're in object mode. Now we are ready to import the model and start editing. To import the model, go to the File, hover over Import, and select Unreal PSK. You should see this option if the add-on is installed correctly. Now here, locate the mesh file you exported from Fmodel. This is mine. Before we hit import, let's adjust few settings. Leave these options at their default. Now, under bone length, set it to 3 or 4. Next, and most importantly, change the scale to 0.01, 0.01. This makes the model import at the correct size. Once that's set, select the file and click import. Wait a few seconds and your model will appear in the viewport. You can now use these navigation controls to move around your model, or use these keys. Now, let's investigate the model. Come to the scene collection on the right side and expand it. Make it bigger. Okay, this is the armature. It controls the skeletons. Expand that too. Then inside, you'll see the actual 3D object. And if you expand that too, and inside this, you will find the materials. Materials is for applying textures. In this video, I am going to replace the entire model with a new one. So that's what we are going to do. Before I do that, I check the new model I want to use. The model we are adding to the game needs to meet few basic requirements. First, it has to have an armature, like this one, so we can adjust the pose properly. Second, the model should include texture files. Not necessarily assigned, just include. Once that's all good, we are ready to go. Now, I am going to import my new model on top of the original one. I go to File, then Import, and choose the file format for my new model. In my case, it's FBX. I select the file, leave the settings as default, and click Import. And there it is. As you can see, the new model is now added in the scene collection. Here is the armature, and these are the objects. Your model might have one or multiple objects, and that's totally fine. What you want to do first is select the armature of your new model, then use the tools on the left like Move, Rotate, and Scale to match it with the original model. If the new model is too big or too small, use the Scale tool to adjust it. Rotate it if needed, and try to align it as closely as possible with the original one. You can also adjust the mesh objects directly if needed. That's up to you. You don't need to be so precise. As long as it looks like mine, you're good. After you're done aligning the models, it's time to match the pose. To do that, select the new model's armature. Then come to this drop-down and switch to pose mode. Now, in the Properties panel on the right, go to the Object Data Properties tab. Find the Viewport Display. Here, under Display As, you can change how the bones look. Pick whichever view you're most comfortable with, doesn't matter. Also, check In Front option if needed. This lets you see the bones inside the model, which is really useful, but sometimes can be messy. Now let's start adjusting the pose. Begin by selecting a bone, for example, the shoulder bone. Then try to match the pose to the original model. Use tools like Rotate, or even Move and Scale if needed. Go part by part. Select each bone and match it with the original model's pose. The more accurate your alignment is, the better it will look in the game. The tricky part is usually the fingers, small objects. But if your model has a good skeleton setup, it shouldn't be much of a problem. And to undo your move, use Ctrl+Z. And make sure to do the same for the other hand. And once both arms are done, move on to pose the legs too. Take your time with it. And that's it, the pose is ready. Now, for the last part of editing, we need to make sure the model isn't clipping or leaving any gaps. Since I replaced the whole body model, I need to make sure it lines up properly with the head model. They are separate models. If it doesn't, if it leaves a gap or clip, it will look very bad in the game, so let's fix that. First, I go back to Fmodel and locate the head mesh file for my model. The head meshes are stored somewhere else, not in the characters folder. So, I close the characters folder, scroll down, and look for the meta-humans folder. This is the one. Expand. And you'll see folders named after the heroes. I need Loon, so I open her folder. This is the one. And inside, you'll see a face folder. Select it. Then switch to Packages tab. And this file right here is the head mesh for my model. It says in the name, Face Mesh. We need this file. Open it to confirm. And yep, this is the one. So, just like before, I select it, right-click, and choose Save Model. Once it's done exporting, I navigate to the mesh file directory. Now we are going to import this head mesh into Blender too. Alright, back in Blender. Let's first hide the new model's armature and the mesh objects, so we have a clear view of the original model. Now, go to File, Import, PSK. Locate the head mesh file and import it using the same settings we used earlier for our first model. After imports, you'll notice it doesn't line up properly. That's because it uses a different skeleton and settings. So, first what we want to do here is adjust it to fit the original body model. Then we can align our new model with it properly. First, it has to match the original one. Get it? You can do this manually, or save time by using the exact settings I already figured out for Loon. Just press N to open the side panel, and with the head armature selected, enter the transformations value I show on the screen. Once you've applied those, the head model should align perfectly with the original body. And after that, we are good to go. But for the other characters, the values are different. So, do it manually. Try your best, it's not that difficult. Alright, now press N again to hide the side panel. Let's also hide the head mesh armature, and also hide the original body model. Then unhide our new body model. As you can see, they are overlapping, so let's fix that. You can still use pose mode to make final adjustments, and I recommend doing that first, but after that, we need to move on to more detailed editing. To do that, switch to Object mode, and select your new body model. If your model is made of multiple objects, that's fine. Just select the one affecting the neck area, this chest neck area. If more than one object overlapping same area and you want to edit them together, hold Ctrl and select all together. Then come here and switch to Edit mode. Now go to Modifiers tab, this wrench icon, and in the Armature modifier, make sure to enable these both settings, both options. Do this for all parts of your new model, so the pose adjustments we did show correctly while editing. So, with your model selected in edit mode, use the selection tools to highlight the areas that are clipping. Then use move or scale to adjust them to fix the overlap or the gap. Before you start, enable proportional editing, this option at the top. Then when editing, scroll your mouse wheel to adjust the radius. You can also switch to wireframe view on top here for easier selection of vertices and lines. What we are doing here is actually pretty simple. You want your new body mesh to fully cover the neck area of the original head model. Only the head model, not the original body model, unless you're planning to keep the original body model and add new parts on top of it. But I'm going to delete the whole new body model, so nothing gonna overlap. And if there is any gap or overlap that isn't covered by that of it, you can add accessories like necklace and try to cover it up on the neck area. Finish the gap there. You can import that piece separately. Take your time with the edits, and if it ends up looking like mine, you're good to go. Okay, I'm done. This is good enough. After we are done, select the head model's armature and objects. Then delete them. Only keep the original body model and armature and the new ones. Now, it's time to assign materials to our new objects. These are my original model materials. I'm going to reuse some of them and apply them to my new model. Start by checking how many objects your new model have. In my case, I've got two. One for the body and one for the end of it. Each of them uses just one material, which means they each rely on one single texture file. Now, let's remove the existing materials from the new objects and replace them with the original materials. To do that, select your new objects one at a time. Go to the Material Properties tab, this icon here. Then, in the Materials section, you'll see how many materials are assigned. This is mine, and I have one for this object that I selected. Click the minus button to remove it. Then click the drop-down arrow to see all materials already loaded in your Blender project. These are mine. From this list, find the original materials you want to use. Pick one, doesn't matter which one. If it's relevant, then that's better. Repeat this process for all your new objects. I had two objects, and I add one for each. I add the body material for the body and the coat to add of it. We'll use these materials later in Unreal Engine to assign the correct textures to them. And I am done. Now that the materials are set, let's move on to the weight painting. If your model is a single object that contains more than one material, here is what to do. Select the object and switch to edit mode. Press A to select all. Right-click, go to Separate, then choose By Material. This will split the objects into separate parts based on their assigned materials. Now you can assign a different material to each object individually. If you end up with more objects than there are available original materials, you'll need to join some objects together and bake their textures. This reduces the number of materials used. Make it manageable. For that process, refer to this video tutorial I linked in the video description. Now, we need to transfer weights from the original model to the new one, so our new model moves with the original armature. To do that, let's clean our new model first. Select your new objects one at a time, then come to the wrench icon. And in the modifier, the armature modifier, click this and apply it. Do this for all your new objects. After that, select your new armature, then press Ctrl+A and choose Apply All Transforms. Then delete the armature. Select the armature, press Delete to delete it. Okay, now, select your new objects one at a time again, and go to the triangle icon. Then under the vertex groups here, click on this, and choose Delete All Groups. Do this for all your new models. If you have shape keys here, delete them too, the same way. Now we can transfer weights. There are two ways to do this. First, do this. Select the original model, go to Edit Mode, press A to select all, then right-click, and in Separate, choose by material. Now, go back to Object Mode, and as you can see, the model is separated into parts, so we can easily access them individually. Now, pay attention. My original model has some extra objects on it, like this coat, and some other stuff, which don't match my new model. It means my new model doesn't include such a parts. We shouldn't use those objects when we are transferring weights, so either transfer weights object by object and skip them, or delete the ones that don't match, then join them all together and transfer weights. This is much easier, so let's do it, and this is how. Select and delete the objects that are completely unnecessary, like this one and this one. And for the ones that have only some parts in the way, but the rest are needed, select the object, go to Edit Mode, then use Wireframe View, and select just parts that are not needed, and press Delete, then choose Vertices, and they are gone. Do this for all other unnecessary parts. Only keep the parts that are necessary. Okay, I am done, and this is what I have. Cool. Now let's join all the objects back together so we can transfer weights all at once. In Object Mode, hold Ctrl and select all the original models. Then go to Object, Join. Done. They are one again. Do the same for the new models object. After that, you'll end up with one single original model and one new model. Now let's transfer weights. First, select your original object, then hold Ctrl and select your new object. Now, go to Weight Paint mode from here. Your new model should turn blue. After that, go to Weights menu from here and choose Transfer Weights. You'll see a drop-down menu appear. In there, change Vortex Mapping to Nearest Face Interpolated. Then go to Source Layer and change it to By Name. That's it. Switch back to Object Mode. Now we need to assign an armature to our new object. Select your new object and go to Wrench icon, Modifiers tab. Click Add Modifier, and under Deform, choose Armature. Then click on this, and select the original armature. Done. Your new model should now move with the original armature. Let's test it. Select the original armature, go to Pose mode, and try move some bones. If your new model moves, then everything is working. Now you can also delete the original object. Select it and press Delete. Just keep the original armature and new object. So, my model looks perfectly fine. But when you're moving the bones, if you notice some parts of the model doesn't move correctly, bend weird or have some problems, you can always fix that manually. To do that, watch this video. I explain the process in detail, including other methods to edit the model. Link is in the video description. Now let's get ready to export. Still in Pose mode, press A to select all, then go to Pose, Clear Transforms, and choose All. Make sure to do this after you're done. Now, go back to Object Mode. Okay, after you're left with only the original armature and the new object with original materials assigned to it, let's export. First, we need to rename the armature. double-click on its name and rename it exactly to armature, just like I do. If you don't, it's not gonna work. Then drag and drop the object under the armature. Now, let's export. But before that, there is something important you need to know about UV maps. I had two objects, right? I assigned them different materials. But since they are joined into one mesh, now they only use one active map, UV map. A UV map is this thing here that tells Blender how to apply textures to a model. Basically, which part of the texture goes where on the mesh. Right now, my body UV map is working, but the add of its UV map isn't. It's disabled. You can see that when I apply the add of a texture, it doesn't show up correctly. Let's fix this. First, select your joined object and go to Edit mode. Press A to select everything. Then right-click and choose Separate by Materials. This will split the mesh into different objects again, based on their assigned materials. Go back to Object mode, then switch to UV Editing workspace at the top here. Now pick one of the objects. I select out of it. Now in the right panel here, let's switch to Editing mode and press A to select everything. Then check the left side of the screen. Normally, you'd see the UV map here, but in this case, it's empty. That's because the correct UV map isn't active. To fix that, go to the triangle icon, the Object Data Properties tab, and open the UV Maps section. Here, you'll see all the UV maps for that object. Click through them, and when you find the one that shows up on the left side, that's the correct one. Now, remove all the others using the minus button. Select them and click the minus. And make sure the one that stays have this camera enabled. That makes it active. Do the same thing for the other objects. How many you have, doesn't matter. Do it for all. Keep the correct one and remove the incorrect one. And that's it. Now you can go back to the modeling workspace. Keep the objects separated, don't join them anymore. Name them however you like. Just make sure the armature name is correct, and you're good to go. Let's export for real this time. To export, go to File, Export, and choose FBX format. Now in the export settings on the right, we leave most of the options as default. But we have to make some changes to the geometry and armature. Under Geometry, change Smoothing to Face, and under Armature, uncheck Add Leaf Bones and make sure only Deform Bones is checked. Next, this part is very important, the file name. We need to name it exactly the original mesh file name. Go to your Fmodel directory, locate the mesh file you exported. For me, it's this one. Then copy its name. Come back to Blender and paste the name in the name field. It should exactly match the same as the original one. Then choose any folder to export the file to, and hit Export FBX. And that's it, the file is now ready in that directory for us to import it into Unreal Engine. You can close Blender, but don't forget to save your project in case you want to come back later and edit or fix some stuff. We need Unreal Engine, and we can get it through the Epic Games Launcher. First, download the Epic Games Launcher from their official website and install it. Just follow the installation instructions, it's simple. Once it's installed, launch the app. Now, create an account and log in. It's free. I am already logged in. Once you're in, look at the left side and go to the Unreal Engine section. Then at the top, go to the Library tab. You should see a version selector for Unreal Engine. Click this plus sign and add a version. Then click on the version drop-down and choose version 5.4.4. Make sure it's exactly that version. download and install it. It's super simple. Just let it finish. Once it's done, click Launch. It will start setting up some shaders and stuff. Let it finish, and then it will open the setup screen. Here it is. Let's set it up. Here, select Game. Then choose the blank template. Now, on the right side, change the settings. Set this to Blueprint. Platforms to Desktop. Quality to Maximum. And uncheck these two options. Now, under Project Name, type Sandfall, like this. And you can also change the save directory if you want, but I leave it as default. Then click Create, and wait for it to launch Unreal Engine. And that's it. And this is Unreal Engine. Welcome. Okay, before we start, let's change some important project settings. You have to do this. At the top toolbar, go to Edit, then Project Settings. A new window will pop up. This is it. Under Project section, go to Packaging. Here is what you need to do. Make sure Use Pack and Use I/O are checked. Also, check Generate Chunks. Then scroll to Share Material Shader Code and uncheck it. This is how it should look. Make sure your settings matching mine. Now go to the search bar at the top and type Virtual Textures. You'll see a list of options. Check all the boxes under Virtual Textures. Every single one needs to be enabled. Once you've done that, you should see a prompt saying Restart Now. Click it. This will restart Unreal Engine and apply your settings. It will take a while though, so be patient. And once it's done, Unreal Engine will relaunch automatically. Okay, my settings are done. Now we can move to the next step. Next, we need to expand the content browser. This is the only window we'll be working with, so make it larger. Now, on the left side, you'll see your project folder called Sandfall. Open it. Then go inside the content folder. Now, we need to recreate the exact same folder structure here that your model has in Fmodel. So, open Fmodel and locate your mesh file. For me, the path is Content, Characters, Heroes, Loon. That's where my mesh file is stored. We need to recreate this exact same folder structure inside the content browser in Unreal. To do that, I keep Fmodel open and put it to the side, so I still can see the folder structure while I am creating it. Start from the content folder in Unreal, go inside it, right-click here, then choose New Folder, and name it Characters. Now, open the Characters folder, and just like before, create a new folder, and name it Heroes, because that's the next folder in my path. Now, inside Heroes, create one more folder with the name of the character you're editing. In my case, it's Loon. And that's it. Okay, I have the correct folder path matching the Fmodel. Now, I can import the model. Now, I have my mesh folder path ready, but we need one more for textures. If I go inside my Loon folder in Fmodel, there is no sign of textures, it's only the skeleton file, because textures are inside this folder, texture_v2. How did I know? Well, to find out, first, open your mesh file and close the 3D viewer. Then in Fmodel, you get this info tab that includes those details. Click here and press Ctrl+F. Then in the search bar here, search Material Instance or Textures. Then press Enter. That will bring up the results. These are the materials which comes with the textures for my model. You can identify them by their names. This is the name of the material. These are the same ones we had in Blender for our model. And if you click on the pink link, this one, It will open the file and you can investigate it. This method works for all skeleton models. So after you get the pink link and confirm it's the right one, then this is the path you need to go to. Here, we can find textures and materials together. While still in the Info tab, go to the folders and navigate to this path. For me, it's inside the Loon folder, and it's the texture_v2 folder. So I select it and go inside it. And these are the files. The ones with MI are the materials, and the rest is the textures. You can open them and see them. So we need to make this folder inside the content browser too. So I go inside my Loon folder and make a new folder and name it textures_v2. Okay, this is for my materials and textures. And inside the Loon, I will put my mesh file. But we still need another folder for the skeleton the model uses. There is another skeleton that the model uses. You can tell that by opening the mesh file, and in the 3D viewer, come to left. In this section, you can see the skeletons. This is the base one, and this is its name. We need the path for this skeleton. As you can see, it's not inside the Loon folder. So, remember this skeleton name, then close the 3D viewer, and come to the data info, press Ctrl+F, and search that skeleton name here. A few letters of it is enough, then press enter. And this is it. This is the path. From characters, it's completely different. Let me find it. Okay, this is the folder, and this is the file. So, let's also make this path in Unreal Engine. Starting from characters, I make another folder and name it mannequins. Then inside that, a new folder named meshes. And that's it. And you must know all other heroes use this skeleton too, as their base skeleton. So you probably need the same one as I did. If we don't include this, your model won't animate, won't move. Okay, I go inside the Loon folder and click on Import. Then I locate the FBX file I exported from Blender and select it. Then click Open. Now, in the Import settings, keep everything as default and click Import. If you see this message, ignore it. Now you have the assets here. They are all imported. You should get 3 files for the mesh, physics asset, and the skeleton. Then you also get all your materials. Now let's put them in their corresponding folder. First, hold Ctrl and multi-select all of these materials. Then drag and drop them into their folder. For me, it's this one. When it prompts, select Move. Next, let's set the skeleton. This is the skeleton file. Select it and drag and drop it into the meshes folder inside the mannequins. And again, select Move. Okay, go inside that meshes folder, and now let's change the file name to the original skeleton file name in Fmodel. So, bring back the Fmodel and locate the original skeleton file in the Info tab. This is the file name. Select and copy only this part. Ctrl+C. Then come back to Unreal, click on the skeleton mesh name, and paste it here using Ctrl+V. And done. Now, the textures. Come to your texture folder, and let's import our new model's textures. Locate them on your drive, and make sure they are PNG, JPEG, or TGA, not something like DDS. Then select them all and drag them into your texture folder, like this. And they are in. The next step is to rename them. So, rename them to what? Well, First, let's locate our original textures. It's best we use the exported ones. Go to your Fmodel directory and navigate to Output, Exports, Sandfall, Content, Characters, Heroes, Loon, Texture v2. This is my path. Yours will be similar too. These are the original textures, and these are the materials. Fmodel exported these alongside the mesh file. Now, we have to copy their names and replace the ones we have in Unreal Engine with these ones, just the names. But which one goes to which texture? Well, look at your materials first. I have a loon body and a loon coat, so I need the corresponding textures for those materials. You can tell which textures belongs to which material by the texture's name and the visuals. As you can see, this texture says loon body, so this belongs to loon body material. And this one is the loon coat, so this belongs to loon coat material. This is how you know. And remember, the others won't work for me because I didn't add their materials. I use these ones. Simple as that. Now, every material has 3 or 4 texture types, but only 2 are necessary for the body model, the base color and the normal map. And that's also what I have for my new model. However, there is this occlusion roughness metallic, which we also need to edit. It's simple. I get back to that after I set up the base color and the normal map. Okay, now, about our new textures. Well, it's easy to identify which is for which part of the model, right? So, I select the original loon body base color texture and copy its name, Ctrl+C. Then in Unreal, I select the base color for my model's body and rename it to this one, just like that. Then for the normal map, I copy the original name and paste it onto the new one. By doing this, I told Unreal that these new textures are now original textures of the body material, which I used it for my body model also. Next is the coat. These are the original textures for it. I copy the base color name first, then replace it to my out of it texture in my Unreal project. Do the same for the normal map. And done. Other textures will work too, but it depends on the materials assigned to your model. Depends which one you choose to assign. If you're unsure which material controls which part of your mesh, if you forgot, go into Loon folder, your character folder, and locate the mesh file and open it. Double-click to open. On the side panel, you'll see the material assigned to it. These are the materials. Use this option to identify them. It highlights them. Okay, after you rename the textures, that's it. You don't need to assign them to the materials manually. They work automatically if the names are matching. But hold on a minute. One of my materials isn't in the correct place. You can see that inside texture version 2, I don't have the loon body material. It's inside the bikini folder. I noticed it because I had this bikini folder extracted too, along with the mesh and other textures. So I checked and saw it. The texture for it, it's inside textures v2, but the material itself is here. So looking inside the exported path is also another good way to locate our material's correct folder. So let me make this bikini folder too. I have to create it inside the loon folder next to the texture version 2 and name it bikini. Done. Now I have to move the body material inside here. Only the material. Okay, done. Let's go back to the textures. Now about the occlusion, roughness, metallic, and other body textures. If we don't override them, Unreal will still apply the original ones from the game, which can mess up our costume look, our costume textures. So we need to edit them or at least replace them. You'll need a texture editor app like Photoshop. Download it, install it, then open. Now, drag and drop the coat occlusion roughness metallic texture into the Photoshop, like this, and you should see it appear here. To remove its effect, we need to paint over it with a pure yellow color. So, select the brush tool, then click the color selector. In the color picker menu, drag the selector to the pure white. Then in the blue input, set the value to 0. This will give us the exact yellow needed to neutralize the ORM maps effect. Click OK. And now, paint over the entire image with this yellow color. Done. Good. Now let's export it. Go to File, Export As, and in the settings, set the format to PNG. Then click Export. Choose a directory to save it. It will export using the original name. After exporting, just drag and drop it into your textures folder in Unreal Engine, and that's it. Repeat this process for any other occlusion roughness metallic textures you have. Only if you use their materials. If not, then that's fine. Leave them. Now, about these body textures. This one called emissive, the black and white one, is responsible for glowing areas. White areas glow, black areas don't. If you want to remove glowing effect, open the texture in Photoshop and paint it pure black. Then export it as PNG and put it into your textures folder in Unreal Engine. Now, the green one, which is also an ORM, but is different. Open it in Photoshop, select the brush, then hold Ctrl and click anywhere on the green part of the image. This samples the exact green color used. Let go of the Ctrl, then paint over the entire image with that same sampled green. Export it as PNG and put it in your texture folder. The blue one, mask, works the same way. Open it, use Ctrl plus click to sample the blue color, then paint over the whole texture, and export it, and import it back to Unreal Engine inside your textures folder. You can also edit your other textures like the base color, in the same way we edit these. Any changes you make to these textures will show up in the game. After we edit it and set up all the textures in the folder structure, we need to change a few settings about our textures. First, double-click on your normal map textures, and in this window, go to Compression Settings, and change it to Masks, no sRGB. And that's it, save it. Do this for all of your normal maps, only normal maps. After that's done, select all your textures at once, hold Ctrl and multi-select. Then, right-click on them and go to Asset Actions and choose Edit Selection in Property Matrix. This menu will pop up. Make it larger. And in this section, turn the Virtual Texture option on. Check the boxes for all of your textures. Make sure to do this. Otherwise, the textures won't function properly. Then click the Save icon on here on the corner and close the window. Now we are good to go to final step. To package, go to the Content folder, right-click here, go to Miscellaneous, and choose Data Asset. In the pop-up, type Primary, and select Asset Label. Now, name it label underscore, then whatever you want. Next, we open it and change some settings. Make sure they are right. We set priority to 1. Then in chunk ID, enter a number above 300. Next, make sure label asset in my directory is unchecked, and check the other 2 boxes below it. Now, under explicit assets, click on this plus icon to add sections. You'll need one for the mesh, one for each texture you've imported into the project. So, count them, count how many textures you have, then add that many sections. Now, we'll assign the assets. Go to Loan folder and drag and drop your mesh file into one of the sections. Only the base mesh, not the physics, not the skeleton. Then, go to the Textures folder and drag and drop each texture into one of these, one by one. And don't add materials, only the mesh and textures. Adding materials will crash the game. Once you've added everything, click the Save icon and close the window. Now we are ready to package. Okay, in order to package, from the top menu, go to Platforms, Windows, set this to Shipping, then select Package Project, and finally save. The packaging process will start. This can take a while, so be patient. After it's done, you'll see this message, Packaging completed. Now let's locate the packaged files and install the mod. By default, your packaged files are saved in Documents, Unreal Projects, Sandfall, Windows, Sandfall, Content, Packs. The last 3 files you'll see here are your mod files. They should include the chunk ID you assigned to them in Unreal Engine. Now, let's rename them. This is important. Add _p to the end of each file's name. You can rename the whole file name if you want. Just make sure they match and end with _p. Next, let's install the mods. Select all of them, all 3, and copy them. Go to your game installation directory. Then navigate to Sandfall, Content, Packs. Inside the Packs folder, create a new folder and name it ~mods, like this. Open that folder and paste your files in here. And that's it. The mod is installed. Launch the game and enjoy. Just make sure you're wearing the correct outfit to see the changes. So as you can see, the mod works, and it looks pretty good. But you might notice these body parts clipping through the outfit. This is a common problem, and it's actually why most video game characters don't have a full body mesh under their clothes. So what we can do is jump back into Blender and just delete the parts of the body that are clipping. They are not visible anyway, so they are useless. Better to clean them up. Or if you prefer, you can try to edit and reposition them to fix the clipping. Either way works. Now that's done, the model is looking better. But there is another common issue, the skin texture. You might notice the body texture and the head texture don't match. To fix that, you can open the body texture in Photoshop or your image editor of choice and adjust the brightness or color. Make it darker or lighter to match the head. Or you can grab the original game texture and mix them together to blend more naturally. This does take a bit of Photoshop skill, but it's not that difficult once you get hang of it. Oh, what is this? Lucky me. My new texture model is matching the original one exactly. So I'm just gonna use the original one, I guess. And that's pretty much it. My model looks decent now. If you're a beginner, take it easy. You're learning, so don't try to use a complex model. Try to use something simple. And if you're a pro, well, you already know what to do. So yeah, that's it. That's all for this video. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave a comment. And if you'd like to support me, please consider like, subscribe, and donate if you can. It really helps. Thank you and good luck.